into a Yumi ultimate. So game number 2 looking a little bit rough from J Team, but can they make the adaptations in game to shift their fortunes?
Well, that is always the question when we're looking at J Team seeming to struggle in these playoffs so far, at least against some of our top flight squads. We'll see if they can correct on the course. Otherwise, they're in danger of going down to match point early on against our reigning champions. PSG Talon looking to go the long road to the finals here. We'll see if they can pull it off. It's rare that we see this team knocked down in the lower bracket, but so far, coming back into it. And remember, they didn't go down here without a fight. CFO had to put him 6 feet under at the final hurdle.
Yeah, they were looking a little bit like the undead.
They keep coming
Tried
back
to
to
rise
life
from the grave, and CFO like, please, no.
It was a Scion passive.
Yeah, unfortunately. And they
Look
did
at our
end
reels.
up in the lower bracket, but game 1 was just utter dominance, right? So if they keep that trend up, this is a possibly 3-0 coming in from both ends of that lower bracket, going into that lower bracket semis.
And I think it was a surprise yesterday to see that happen against Frank Esports. Deep Cross just showing up really well, and I think it would probably be a surprise as well. You know, a lot of us predicted PSG to win it, but I don't know about a 3-0 necessarily, as we will get underway in this bottom side. It's pizza and candy, quite a yummy bot lane, I think. Combination going back and forth and just chucking them at each other.
Yeah. The food delivery service here.
Hey man, it's been very valuable since the pandemic started. Always tip your delivery drivers.
Very true. Does get
Although
a little bit
I
rough
wouldn't want a
going
cat on
out.
my pizza. That's not good.
Yeah,
we just talked about cat hair. We wouldn't want that.
Yeah, cat
Nowhere it
hair
belongs.
definitely can just get everywhere, right? Yeah, up in the top side, it's looking pretty
It's been a
good
long
for
week,
Hanabi.
hasn't it?
Oh man, this
I'm
is
losing my
the
mind.
fun part about not seeing Gangplank in a long time. You forget he can just non-stop press Q onto you, and you don't ever get to play the game. And
Yeah.
that's what it's looking like so far for Hanabi. Is he's already able to get a couple of these grass procs stacked up.
And the corrupting pot as well. I mean, like, Hanabi is just like, he does not care about the nurse. He does not care about the fact that we haven't really seen GP much in a while. He's like, all right, I'll take this matchup. This is fine. I know this one inside and out. And there's a reason that Hanabi always seems to return to form. You know, we've seen it at Worlds. We've seen it in this split now in playoffs. We were worried that with the nerf bat hitting a couple of his champs, with the fact that he's been playing a little more on weak side, it hasn't worked out well for him, that he might fall off. He was exploitable. Turns out to not be the case, as Bury, level 3 on the Poppy, sitting in mid lane, looking to get something back, as last game it was all Kongye showing up in the mid, who is now just getting a ward down as he clears for Scuttle. Going to be traded by the Poppy. Bury didn't find an opener, as Uniboy pushed under Talon.
And so far, the lines are looking fairly good from the early onset for PSG. Playing pretty far forward, able to get those resets, especially top lane. Getting that reset off as the game playing feels really, really nice. It makes you almost impervious to ganks. And even when a possible dive might happen, you're going to have Cannon Barrage, you're going to have the oranges to survive and really give yourself the opportunity to turn these fights. Actually, Hanabi doesn't go for the recall. A little bit surprised.
Ooh. Here's the thing, if you're Konglia right now, like, you're still power farming to try and get yourself up to be able to throw out those glacial prisons, but the issue is you need to focus on mid and bot lane because you're getting shoved in there. I don't think top lane's going to get a whole lot of help. Rock might be left on an island and, well, he might be sinking into the sea. Not if he's already got the best of him once.
The big thing here for J Team has just been, even though sometimes they've picked a couple of games where it should be top side focus, they've never been able to really execute around those conditions. So more likely than not, Rock indeed will be left on his own devices, and that is going to be another situation that Hanabi will thrive in when he does get to free scale into a game where he isn't expected to be put under pressure. He's able to scale up,
the pressure,
participate in the team fights, and as we know, PSG, the highlight of the squad is team fight.
And those ricochets is really just starting to sting on Enzo a little bit, even early on. Yeah, Hanabi has definitely pulled a course correct when he's been given these champions that are able to thrive and when he doesn't get put under pressure early on. And I think they just understand the way J-Team like to play is a little slower. Kongye will be making an appearance down bottom, but good tri-brush ward by Kaiwing means that this gets full spotted.
3 people.
Yeah,
Chilling
fine.
out
They
here,
turn it
just
back
trying
around.
to get the reset.
They're actually getting a lot of damage out, and look at
really want to
Bury.
reset that wave.
Oh, man. This feels
the
bad
worst
right
wall
now
world.
for J-Team. Bury gets the wall bang, finding extra return damage, and Kongye might have a level advantage, but he doesn't have much of a health bar left. And now the wave freeze is on. This is even worse for Lilvi and Enzo.
So for the side of PSG, they should just go for the recall, allow this wave to sit there. They'll be able to return. Zeri, one of those champions that can't exactly shove the lane out very easily during the lane phase, whereas on the flip side, if Sivir wants to crash a wave, she can just crash a wave. So all things going very, very well for the side of PSG to shut out Lilvi and Enzo once more in this bot half.
Yeah, all according to plan at the moment. CS lead mounting here for Gory in the mid lane without any pressure facing him. He's been able to get an edge over Uniboy and push him out. First both teleports down and expended in this one. He's going to get it back a little faster. Uniboy will. As the focus has still just been on these scuttles, the Dragon not really a heavy priority for either team early on right now, mostly because it's still only 7 minutes, and that is a Ocean Drake, unlike the last time when it was the first Infernal.
Yeah, Ocean Drake being the first dragon will perhaps give J-Team a little bit more room to breathe, as it is a low priority dragon. It looks like they're going to make a visit up in the top side.
All right, Rock looking to cut off a Nabi. Instantly, he knows what's up, and he puts down the cannon barrage. Might still die, eats an orange. I don't know if it's going to be K, though. And they're going to be able to take him down for first blood, but it did take a lot of time and effort. Here comes Bury, looking to try his luck and catch that wave.
Yeah, just here to catch the wave. Not going to be an issue for him. Actually looking to try and hold a freeze, which would be pretty nice. Gory getting chased on.
The charm, but really nice use of the Spirit Rush stolen away. Hits him with the surprise Teemo. So J-Team is showing they have some fight. Unified, bringing Kaiwing up here with Kauno's back.
Not level 6.
2v2 without level 6. That's going to be a little tough. Can't quite go hunting just yet, so he just sends the boomerang into Enzo's backside.
And we might see a revisit up in the top side once more.
Why not? Hanabi holds
straight
though.
Back top, yeah, and that's going to be the issue. They will be spotted on a ward, and it might just be an exchange of objectives for the side of PSG. Don't need to fight for this Rift Herald, especially with no one playing around that area, and given that you do have enchanters down in this bottom lane, especially the Yumi, the roam power might not quite be there, but Bury level 6,
dive.
and
Throws
it's
a
only
Senfest
level 5 will be.
presence. He gets the wall bang, gets that one knock up. Here comes Gory. They're going to pop that final chapter. 2 flashes. Lilvi charmed, but does get away. Big expenditure of ultimates now. Here comes Kongye and Uniboy to cut this line off. They're going to go turn on to Bury. Let's see if they get that damage. Gory taken very, very low, and they bite off way more than they could chew. Uniboy getting the first kill onto Unified, and Gory falls not long after that. Bury now being chased down, even though he's got the cat in his back. He can't quite speed boost up enough for Canny through those heals. Kongye on the chase, get the slow down.
It's not there.
Solo Bolo, and it's not enough, but still 2 kills on the Overforce. J-Team, they're the ones on the board this game.
They do manage to find a punish onto the dive attempt coming in from PSG. But you look at that bot lane situation, it's still not a good spot. Because a Unified is up 20 CS, and the 2 assists are going to be critical for Lil V to get back into it. you know, you still will take those summoners burn, right? Because you now have summoners advantage down in that bot side, but the return coming in from Korean, from Uniboy, that's massive. To just try and play around their win conditions. Get Uniboy and Korea ahead, allowing them to continue playmaking here, and maybe that will make a difference coming in from game one, where they had a couple advantages, they just weren't able to push those advantages. This time they'll get another go at it.
Yeah, build themselves up here. It is important to get those kills onto priority targets, and Uniboy with that one does manage to put his Everfrost. Rock getting a push on into tower, hope to take a couple of plates for themselves. Last time they were just held to that measly one tower right at the end of the game, and certainly can only go up from there. As a 900 gold advantage currently sitting in favor of J-Team. Remember, they are still holding on to that Rift Herald. It was not opt. You have to think this is happening as Kongye has moved in. They're not even opting to crush the eye yet, as Hanabi's still sticking around. There it goes.
Yeah, walking back up to the wave now, knowing that he has Bury coming in from behind.
A lot of tower shots.
Yeah, they won't be able to, you know, break the tower, but at the very least, they do get a bunch more gold into Rocket, and maybe he'll be able to leverage that extra gold into a 1v1. Although, that being said, it is still a Gangplank, and one of the big things Gangplank has is that passive gold generation from those last hits.
Very true. Kongye looking to come around the side, finds the Ice Ball on a prediction from Gory, who still gets out. Oh boy. Some fancy footwork right there.
Extra mobility, of course, coming in handy for Gory as he's able to stay safe.
And the Merc Treads.
Yeah, the Merc Treads helping out considerably as well. Stopping. Still not a lot of tension onto the Dragon. Even though it is up and available, it really just shows you, hey, when Ocean Dragon spawns, it's all about the fight. We're just going to look for fights rather than try and get this early Ocean, because Ocean, A, it hurts like a truck, and B, it doesn't give you a lot of stats in the game anymore.
It does give you a little bit more in the form of, well, I'll talk about that a little later, as Hanabi does go down. The tag team duo, Uniboy, thanks to another tower shot. Here comes Gory on the chase through. Charm does get dodged out. I think he's going to be able to get out fine. Yeah, I was going to say the one advantage of getting that Ocean is that you clear up the next dragon, but you can slow the game down if you don't take it. And I think that's perfectly fine for J-Team.
Yeah, and I think J-Team will be more comfortable with out that dragon being taken, because it does mean... Okay, getting a little sneaky here. I think he spotted him out.
Yeah, he did.
Because it does mean that they're actually able to get to a late game point that they weren't able to get to before. And at the very least, like, hey, we get to see more minutes than or at least stand a better chance.
That was a pretty fast game last time. Yeah, like 31 minutes just about. So with this Ocean being relatively free on the map, PSG will finally clean it up. They have been held to 0 kills so far in this game, wanting to get back whatever they can for themselves. The bright spots, though, the top lane has been holding on. I don't know if that's going to last as Kongye makes another trip up to the top. Hanabi face checking nearly. Kongye chases him down. Even Uniboy's here. It's all about ganking Kongye, and whoo, tells him to cool off. Fireworks aren't popping off anytime soon, and that will be first brick as well as the 5th kill of the game going in favor of J-Team. A much better start for this squad.
And they're playing to topside. And also, big factor is they were able to find that kill, and in addition, able to steal away the Gangplank ult before finishing them off. So it means that this play down in the spot side is incredibly hard to just pull off because of the cannon barrage being able to clear out that wave.
Nicely done. Yeah, the Silas, you can see why the Prio has been well placed here, and nobody's defending tier 2. This is huge. Kongye and J-Team, they're going to finish it off as well. A big long lane that they just given themselves.
A lot of extra gold going into this Gnar. And that's real nice news for the side of J-Team, out to a 4K gold lead. 14 minutes into the game is quite considerable. Will be sort of evened out down in the bottom lane. And Silver Yumi will still be an issue later on in the game. That won't change. And remember, for J Team, this is a composition that's pretty dive heavy focus. So they will be running into that Yumi ultimate.
You're right. J-Team, they're not keen to let their advantages dry and wither right now. It's going to be another Herald start by them. Much better setups and much better map positioning, giving them the go-ahead for the objectives. PSG not going to fight it out. So, another Herald falls to J-Team. Bury getting caught on a red buff contest?
Yeah, just trying to snag away any sort of gold he can get on the flip side, right? Where he knows, hey, Korea is on that top side objective, so let's just grab what we can down in this bottom side. Unfortunately, does get defended by Raw. And you can look at some of this ward coverage. It's a lot of wards coming out from the side of PSG, but the couple that they do have on the side of J-Team is in the spot where they're able to protect that top lane, side lane ward.
Absolutely. And Uniboy off to a great start himself in this game. Those 3 kills. Got a gold bounty already in this one. Has been able to do a lot of work with stolen ultimates. Even if he had fallen behind in lane, had been pushed in, he stayed alive. That's critical. Denying Gory the kills to succeed, even without a lot of less pressure than he had last time around from his jungler. Top focus working.
Next dragon is going to be the mountain. So in objective, both teams will look to try and get themselves as Gory
knocked into the wall. Bakongi around the backside. Gory gonna buy a little time for himself as the cannon barrage does come in to try and push this back. Gory stays alive after that stopwatch pop.
Nice little defensive play coming in from Gory, being able to stay alive. Uniboy will be able to dash away. Now the situation resets. Second Rift Herald gets plopped down here, and that should be it. That should be the tower.
Really nice finish off, though. They actually keep that wave really pushed, and PSG managed to swing it. Hanabi uncontested takes the tower. Lilby doing a little bit of work in the mid, but that was a good PSG trade. Try and shave off that gold lead.
Yeah, able to get a little bit back for themselves. As Dragon is about to spawn in 1 minute, we'll see where the recalls come in if they do go for a recall. Yeah, we're going to see Hanabi start to make his way over. Has that last whisper completed for himself, so trying to shred through a little bit of that armor. In addition to the armor penetration coming in from his barrels, perhaps that will soften up one of these top side targets who do have that armor already stacked up pretty heavily, and make it in a good range for Unified to start cleaning up.
So far, though, PSG have not been able to find a kill in this game. Got themselves that first dragon, got themselves a tower, another one to answer. Uniboy with the stolen Spirit Rush, finding Hanabi. Chain lashes on, he dashes forward looking for those Kingslayers, and he just has so much damage. Hanabi having a hard time answering, but in the minion wave, he has quite a lot. Not enough, though. And without the cannon barrage, it was not a fair fight. J-Team not only cleaned that one up, they go ahead and take the Mountain Drake as well.
And that should have been an opportunity to try and go for a contest with the extra global power coming in from the Gangplank, but the Gangplank gets soloed out. That makes things all the more difficult as Gory gets stung up here once more.
The charm,
it's
though.
About the reinforcements.
Yeah, Unified and Kai Wing are cut off from Lil V and Enzo, but they managed to push them back all the same. Keeping that bot tower, that's been huge, but Hanabi has been pressured in this long lane without towers to fall back to. Uniboy has become an absolute terror on the side.
Uniboy will be the big problem for PSG to deal with going into this mid-game. Already 2 items completed, has the Donnie's Hourglass, so he can just jump in and provide a massive nuisance. Will also be able to buy time for his next cycle of cooldowns. So that will be the big numero uno problemo for the side of J-Team, or for the side of PSG's. Yeah, it's not like Hanabi's that far behind. It's just if you can't win the 1v1 anymore against Silas, then Makes the
Kong
game
just
a lot
stole
harder.
away that red buff. Wow, that feels bad for PSG.
It's his jungle.
Didn't even have to smite it. I did the last second.
He's indeed his jungle, and Bury will have to make do with that ward. That is. Now it's a fight for the chickens.
He's not giving him anything right here. Unified is just trying to farm it up. But meanwhile, Rock's taking that bottom tower that had been well defended up until this point. Looking for the chase. Yeah, Konge won't be able to be slowed down by that prowling projectile. Now the focus is on mid lane. J-Team look to open this map up. It is an Infernal Rift as well. Some dragons well worth fighting for, and PSG know they're going to have to get in there into the pit if they want to. Oh, big knockback on the Narf. Hanabi taking a little low, and Flash gets a lot of value. Wind up from Bury, but no pitch.
We'll hold on to the ultimate, which means it will be back up very, very shortly. But do PSG find the fight window? Do they even look to go for a fight is the real question, right? Because 2.5 minutes into the dragon, there's not much to look for besides just the fight. Otherwise, it's just buying time, waiting for that next item to get completed here, as Gory will address that top wave. He will most likely be going towards that Zanya second as well. And really, for the side of PSG, the big ticket item is the Infinity Edge. Once you get the Infinity Edge completed by Unified, then these fights definitely change quite a bit.
Oh yeah, and you do see the buys starting to come through more and more for J-Team too. That Knight's Vow actually ends up being completed by Konge, just going ahead and getting the tether on to try and add some extra protection, presumably for Lil V, but I suppose it could always be for Uniboy.
It would be pretty cool to see it for Uniboy because of how much damage he is outputting right now. Lil V on at least 2 items now will start to add a little bit more punch. Still not quite to his own 3rd item, and unfortunately the drawback of an Infernal Rift, while it does give you more damage, does leave you with less terrain to hit those electroshock lasers.
Yeah, that's true. A little bit frustrating in that regard. Speaking of frustrating, I think
Hanabi
Hanabi just had a hard time. He's just had so much focus, so much pressure put on him. Konge has all day to sit there in that jungle. Lil V and Enzo can also join. Look at all the warding that's been done by J-Team through this decimated jungle on the Infernal Rift, looking to make sure PSG get absolutely no opportunity to sneak into the pit.
3.5k gold lead for the side of J-Team, but what we haven't seen yet is really an acceleration, right? Because it was 4k at 14 minutes. So, in fact, the gold lead has gotten smaller. So for the side of PSG, they've done a good job in being able to get 2 towers to their name and slow the game down, where this Sivir might be able to find that one big team fight, although she is going for the last Whisper item for perhaps a better power spike, knowing that she has to cut through this Gnar that's already built up a lot of armor, and the Sejuani, and the Sylas.
Yeah, I think that adaptation is not a bad one. The LDR already completed by Hanabi as well, and you can see him just cutting through the minion wave with those barrel pops. That's something that J-Team are going to have to respect as this game goes on. But they do get the free dragon. This is only their first Infernal, only their 2nd Drake total, so it is a while before we get into the Soul Point territory. And, well, that just goes to show that PSG taking that dragon certainly was well worth it.
The first dragon pickup is going to pay off just a little bit in this instance, but they still really do
not bad either.
Want to contest the next one, though, right? Because if you give over a mountain and 2 Infernos, that's a lot of stats packed into those 3 dragons. And even though you can just continue to buy time, unless you manage to flip the gold lead into your favor, it's a really negative stat fight taken for that soul contest.
Yeah, you don't want to put yourself too deep in the hole, and then you just lose no matter what you do. PSG certainly know this. Uniboy getting spotted by Bury there, but can't really do much about it. PSG, despite being held to 2 towers and no kills this game, they do have a game plan, and it is a late game win condition. They have the GP, they have the Sivir, they have the Yuumi. They can do a lot of chase down, and remember that Poppy utility is not at all dependent on the items. So they are playing a slower game as they are in the deficit. We will see if they can come back into it and play it out. J-Team have not been able to extend the gold lead, as you mentioned. It's only about 3.3k. It's in fact contracted a little bit. The Dragons, that's what they got going for them. The map control, that's what they got going for them. But they're not pulling the trigger on making any big plays right now. They're looking for the perfect setup. Look at Kongye in the bush.
And the issue is they're just constantly sort of ping-ponging these waves, right? They're pushing it in without punishing PSG. Like, PSG aren't being punished for the fact that they're behind in gold because J-Team keep giving them gold by just bouncing the wave back into it. They're not trying to deny any gold. Here is perhaps this might be the opportunity, having the stolen Ahri ultimate.
Okay.
That's onto it.
Glacial Prison hits Bury. It just doesn't really do much here, and that tool burnt means that they can't do much else. Now everybody from PSG has joined the fray into this ARAM, and neither team looking to fight, but that favors PSG Talon.
Pyra, the Sejuani ultimates have not been good. When it's been for single target pickoffs, they've landed for the most part, but in these team fights, it's not looking great at all.
Okay.
Beauty Boy, and here comes this trap, possibly being snapped.
It could be, but with the Poppycopter already used to knock at least one person
Mega
out of this one, with the Rock TP as Mega, Gnar, and PSG respect it. They immediately back out. They give themselves the space to dodge out the trap, and yeah, not a bad trade of things. Damage on the tower and the teleport from Rock in exchange for really nothing lost.
You can see there, down in this bottom lane, these wave states are perfectly fine for the side of PSG too. So once more, they're not getting denied gold. Yes, some of the EXP is a little bit rough, right? Bot lane or top lane with Rock and Hanabi. It is a level lead for this Gnar. It is a level lead for Kongye over Bury. And it is level 16 onto Uniboy as well. So that is really the big power points. The fact that they have 16 on both Rock and Uniboy. Having access to that rank 3 ultimate might be enough oomph to put them over the top in this next fight. But if they don't pull the trigger fast enough, then, you know, level 16 starts taking over for the side of PSG as well. So already Gory, now level 3. It's not enough explosiveness coming in from the side of J-Team because the play they executed, they threw an ice bowl onto the tank. It's not a priority target. No one cares.
Yeah, it has been a little bit of a head scratcher seeing Kongye play this champion. I don't really think it favors him. It's good in the flexible sense that you can choose your top champion matchup a little more, but between Rock and Kongye, I'd rather have the latter on a much more impactful champion. And now, timing window, okay, that wave gonna get shoved. Here comes Kongye, but he's by himself for the time being until LV comes over. Smart Search instantly getting wall banged.
Okay.
And yeah, Bury is going to be able to stay alive. That is going to be the position set up, though, with 10 seconds on the Dragon. Nightstar, I think PSG might be feeling that they can fight this.
J-Team, though, they do have, I would say, item advantage in the 80 carry role because that's an Infinity Edge completed over just the LDR. So LDR will help cut through some of these frontline champions, but the Electro Shock Laser, if it lands, is going to destroy targets on the side of PSG. That's going to be the extra move speed coming in. Bury charging up the ultimate.
They got Bury on this one. Do they have him out of this? No! The final chapter going to get spent here. It's going to come down to the spike fight 50-50. It gets taken by PSG. Now they just got to get out of there in time. Gory taking the express route over the wall, still staying alive, but Bury falls. Lil V with the flash forward, get the double kill. Rock tries for the big Gnar, doesn't find enough, and PSG just need to move out of there. Maybe they can get the kills back. Unified. Ollie walked away on the chase, on the run, but look at all the damage he's dishing with the pizzas. And I think he might just get out of this one as he keeps him at arm's length, buying so much time with the boomerangs, and he's got himself the blast cone. I don't know if he's getting away here, Nightstar, but look at this long engage. As they
1v9,
keep
get
it
the
going,
1v9.
they can't believe it! They do it!
And
now the barrel chain! They can take Uniboy down! That's huge! Shutdown goal, PSG! They're back in the game! They're back on the money!
I love me some cat.
And you got to. That move speed, dude. He didn't even have to pop on the hunt.
Oh,
Woo!
man.
Oh my word.
Is
this Baron time?
It's such a powerful pick. And J-Team, they don't have the means to punish this pick. Just for the side of PSG, they just immediately turn on the Baron. The recalls were there, but now Lil V is back. This will be a full contest.
Doesn't have Mega. Let's see if they turn the fight. That Baron a little bit low right now. Is they going to go back to it before it resets? Rock is the only one that Mega's about to come through, but I think they get this one. Here we go. Murray going to be the isolated target. Left for dead. It doesn't matter, though, as they take Baron off the board. They cut into the Drake stack. PSG was previously held to no kills, but they cut into that gold lead even further and removed 2 objectives off the Rift.
It just took 1 kill. That's it. And all of a sudden, they have a Baron. This gold lead that was at 4K at 14 minutes, where it was like 12 minutes. It's now half. The side of J-Team have just not done enough in this game so far. We get to see the replay. Like, I love the chase coming in from Lil V, knowing that he is so strong. Goes over the wall, gets himself 2 kills. They find a stun onto Unify, but not enough damage coming in from Lil V. His health bar not quite
how fast that cupcake
high enough to be able to stick onto the target to finish that kill, and then it was just ensuing chase onto a very fast pizza deliverer and a cat. A Rock even forced to burn the teleport. That's also impactful because now you have a TP advantage, even though PSG might not know it.
Woo. And Unified's starting to hit hard. Look at Lil V's health bar just melting here. On the ricochets, those barrel pops, here's the TP flank. They're going to go for this one as Uniboy looks for this right now. However, they turn their attention onto him. The final chapter popped. Murray looking to join the fray. Oh, not going to get that windup as he doesn't have the ultimate available, but the scatter from PSG, it works. They get out. They don't lose a man.
Oh my god, that was such a scattered fight, but PSG managed to get out alive, and now Burry get cut off here. Lil V trying to heal off of this objective. Burry gets chunked out. Okay.
Oh boy.
Enzo gets the blue buff.
Did Enzo get it? Okay, yeah. It looks like for a second Burry got that one down. Unified does go back to base, completes his 4th item. That's the eye edge.
Yes.
And that should start to make a bit of the difference. He's actually the first to 4 items.
First to 4 items did bypass completing the boots. Tier 2 boots. But because he has the magical boots, it's going to be more than enough move speed, right? Because you also have the Yumi on top.
The Yumi. That's the thing. Little things you don't often think about is you don't actually have to go for your boot upgrade, and you're still that fast.
Yeah.
So
you have the
Unified.
ultimate, so it's definitely not an issue. And for Lil V, he is very close to his GA. I expect that's why he is channeling his recall. Should have that completed for him, and that will be a big cooldown because it will allow him to jump forward and also have the ability to reset after he comes out of GA state.
But right now, the way the 5v5s are going are favoring PSG, right? Not just because they managed to get the Dragon takeaway, because they can set up on the set plays. They have the inside track on the Baron, and Rock has been building for side lane. And now they get the catch off onto Kongye, forced to flash out as they burn a fair number of ultimates in that without getting a kill. Nonetheless, PSG with 20 seconds on the Dragon might be able to start this one up without a whole lot of answer from J-Team. The waves just completely crashed in.
They're going to have positioning advantage here, and they're setting up for the death push for J-Team. They do spot it out. It's just...
Here comes Kongye. Look at the flank. He's spotted.
Gonna go straight into
he knows. Yeah, here comes Murray on the flash. They're gonna look to cut down the smite into the wall bang. He buys a little time for himself with that stopwatch. However, he's not all that tanky. Rejoining the team on the redemption. Finally goes down. Shutdown gold falls into the Yumi's pocket. And here we go. Gory dashing, diving, dodging, but not long enough. Goes for a stopwatch himself.
They can't
That's
protect
gonna be
him.
1-for-1 on the engage. Flashing over the pit is gonna be Hanabi here as the chase is on. I think
down.
they've got him down. Lil V with the chase down. They find what they needed. J-Team right back into this one.
And the claps coming in from J-Team when these fight formations do sort of go to a bit of a mess. That really changes the scope of it as Unified does get caught out. He should go down, but it's a Yumi.
He should. This would be one heck of an escape.
A Yumi, it's a Sivir. They do
He doesn't actually have it on the hunt yet. No, there we go. That was a clutch cutoff, and J-Team right back on top of it now. Speedy themselves.
35 minutes. These are lengthy death timers, so they could potentially get an inhib tower. They've got a big wave coming in towards the spot side.
Gory's up. Hanabi's about to be. This is at least 2 towers, you have to think. But J-Team are going to settle for 1.
Yeah, it's just going
Let's
to be
take a look at that fight again. This was actually a good catch on to Kongye, but he buys enough time for himself to allow the team to arrive, and once Gory's out, that's a value play.
Miss barrel chain coming in from Hanabi might have been able to chunk out these targets to make this fight winnable for the side of PSG, but unfortunately the barrel doesn't connect. As a result, J-Team have very, very full HP bars to continue chasing. And Zeri, when you have no front to back, then she could just chase whichever target she wants. That was a little bit unfortunate for them. And Lil V coming over the wall and the zap. That was clutch.
Yeah, it was. They knew that's where they had to be. At the moment, they just needed to cover the distance. Those chains didn't quite last long enough, and now we are back into live. You can see in the picture-in-picture as the theater of battle shifts over towards the Baron, about to spawn. PSG significantly weakened after that last one by comparison. Nonetheless, they have all their tools to fight this. We want to go for a straight-up flip.
You believe they are going to have to look for a fight.
Gory, there's going to be that cannon barrage, though, from Hanabi. They look to cut off Rock as Mega's about to pop. However, he hop, skips, jumps away. There goes. That's the reset. A lot of utilities, a lot of ultimates burn. The Baron is peeled off.
For PSG, these short skirmishes are going to work in their favor because they're the ones with a Yumi. They've got heal, they've got sustain. They can reset the fights. Now, okay, big laser does come through.
That's a lot of choke point damage, yeah. Here we go. Let's see if the chase down can come off. On the hunt, not available, but they can keep that wave pushed and trying to keep him at arm's length here. This is something PSG had a comp built well for. But Lil V, he's hunting for kills himself.
Now it looks like without any dragon pressure coming on here, they can just hover top half of the map. Now engage.
Back. There's the lightning crash. They're going to be able to find Bury before anything else happens. That should be the fight. One kill turning into more, you have to think, after this one, as the Soul and Cannon Rush comes through to try and keep them slowed down. Uni Boy on the front line. Gory a little low as he's trying to get away, isolated from the rest of the team. Blast Cone to rejoin them here, but with that numbers disadvantage without the smite, this is the safest Baron that J-Team could take. They're not going to be able to get it cleanly just yet, though.
TP.
Unified keeping them isolated. Or he can't come back with the teleport play. And Barrage on that one. Will be taken low, but here comes the big Gnar. Oh, spell shielded away. Now the cleanse comes through. They find a lot of damage. Here's Gory on the flank. They find Kongye. Can't take him down. Gory is going to go golden. Not going to go down here. The protection was just too good. Uniboy, Lil V, a little bit low, but without anybody going down. PSG, they're going to go back to the Baron anyways.
Uniboy does have this teleport. But with these recalls being channeled, it's going to be a two-man contest. Bury is on the way. He will be here for his team to help escort them out if the need be, but it will be a free Baron, well fought out from the side of PSG. In the end, that's
free nominally. They have to pay up front.
Somehow, they've been the ones to get both Barons here so far in this game. It is 30 seconds until the Infernal Soul, though, and for J-Team, they are going to have initial positioning around the river area, but with the extra Baron stats, it helps even up the gold deficit.
This game has gotten so incredibly close, despite
PSG only have 2 kills.
They only have 2 kills, I know, and they've just been so good at farming it up, and Well, you've got a Sivir late game win condition. You've got a Gangplank late game who's 4 items as well. And, you know, Bury getting caught and blown up, that certainly hurts. Nonetheless,
double IEs completed for the
set up around this dragon. That's Soul. You have to fight this one out. J-Team gonna start it here. Cannon Barrage primed and ready for Hanabi. Rock nearly has the Narbar. Is this really gonna come down to a flip?
This is it.
Oh, he's got Kongi out of there. They immediately turn, and that's going to be the takedown as they keep them out of the pit, courtesy of the Cannon Barrage. And look at the top side. The Winions are doing work, but PSG, they're okay with that. They're okay with that. It's a 40-minute game. They're still alive, and they are on Soul Point.
And once more, J-Team concede yet another objective. This one, you know, this was due to the hard work coming in from Bury, though. Getting a nice ejection onto the J-Team jungler, removes the smite out of the picture. They immediately turn, even though the dragon did reset and maybe put a bit of a heart attack into PSG fans. Still ends up getting secured by the last boomerang. So
yeah, the decisiveness was huge.
Yes.
There, the moment that Konge is out, the game plan already well coordinated and communicated, and they're just onto the dragon. J-Team know they can't contest. So now, it's going to come down to the final Infernal. Start the timer. 4 minutes and counting, Nightstar.
Yeah, this game most likely
has this come so close?
This game most likely won't end with Infernal Soul taken. It'll just come down to the fight, right?
Yeah.
And whichever
It'll be
team
the fight over that.
wins the fight, because it is 42 minutes into the game, these death timers it will be so long. You'll just be able to walk into the base, unless if you're stuck fighting against supers and your wave isn't close to touching any of these towers. But
nobody's broken any bases just yet, though.
Yep. And Unified now at a full 6 items. The only thing left is to exchange those boots, and on the flip side, the same goes for Lil V.
He's gone for a more defensive build, though, of course. The Guardian Angel and Mercurial Scimitar. So he's going to be able to tank up a death and some CC. Rock, of course, you know, the way he built out that Hullbreaker would rather be on the side lanes. He hasn't been able to do it for a while as PSG have drawn a lot of gravity here. That's a lightning crash. They get the sun up and Bury. Big steadfast presence, and look at the rock chase down the side. He's forced to flash away.
Ejection!
They look for Uniboy, and they get the charm out on to Rock. He goes Mega, and that's going to be the turn. Once again, another Cannon Barrage lands, courtesy of Uniboy, but the barrel chains are too huge. The fight ends indecisively, but PSG reset, and it's J-Team. They're scattered right now.
They have the Yumi. They can reset the situation, and it favors them because they have all this regen. They have the oranges coming in from Hanabi, right? And with the Yumi means that when the fight doesn't get fully committed to, PSG will almost always come out on top. And the only difference between these two teams when it comes to stats is really just, on the one hand, you have a little bit more durability with the Mountain Dragon, and on the other side, it's just a tiny bit of sustain. Really, none of these secondary tricks are going to matter because the Inferno, with how much damage it's adding to both these teams, will sort of invalidate.
PSG, after getting so far down in the game, bring it back slowly but surely. And we've had such a longer game. It was 31 minutes or just shy of it last time around. We're now about to hit 44.
Mm-hmm. And it's sort of the difference in how PSG and J-Team do execute. Against these top teams, J-Team have struggled to close out games. And that was, of course, the narrative going into the MFT series. Like, hey, right? It should just be MFT getting Rafflestomped, and when they weren't able to close out fast enough in game number 1, there were concerns.
Oh, barrel chain.
It is on Takumi, right?
He tanks it well.
Yeah,
he's all right.
He is beefy.
They're setting up the death brush. They're setting up the death brushes, and
45
they
seconds.
Can choose.
And
45 seconds on the Dragon, 30
There's
on the Baron, but it's definitely going to be that Drake is the focus. PSG have the inside track. Look at Hanabi. He's isolated, just looking, barrel fishing at this point. So is
Oh,
Unified.
Unified.
Oh, it could be turned around. Nope, he's able to get back to safety.
Oh,
Stolen on the hunt.
Stolen.
J-Team would like to collapse on this one. Keep your eye on that timer. 20 seconds.
There we
There's the
go.
on the hunt bopped, and their best presence immediately. They stuff Kongye. Let's see, Lightning Crash ejected from the fight, looking for the chase down as the Cannon Barrage comes through. Charm doesn't land. That's the reset.
Situation reset.
Seconds.
Position still
Dragon
favorable
back
for
in Beauty
PSG.
Boy. He's going to be able to teleport in. Gory a little bit low, but the Honey Fruit will help.
Dragon now live. Teleport
Oh, the
coming
TP.
in.
On the minion. PSG, they're going to pull this one out.
Rock almost mega.
Rock nearly has that Narbar built up. If this comes down to the flip,
Burger flip.
it would be something else, but it looks like it's taken by J-Team. They were in the picture fast, and PSG immediately realized they've got to go for Baron now.
They are turning straight for the Baron buff, and it's recalls coming in from J-Team. They're trying to go for the base, but they have no way to stop the backs coming in from PSG, so PSG will be able to get the Baron and be able to use the Baron-powered recalls to alleviate any pressure coming into the base, and that is why J-Team, they just full set themselves onto that recall, while J-Team do well in getting themselves the objective. PSG also responding kind by being able to secure themselves the Baron buff, the extra gold, to try and finish out the rest of their build.
There is no panic, there is no delay when PSG lose out on a play. They just go immediately, turn for the Baron, and J-Team a little indecisive. They try to start pushing, they realize they can't do it, they back off. So J-Team, still a win. They clear away the last of the Infernals. They get the soul. That is a massive boost to them. But as you said, they've struggled to close these games out. And with the Baron buff, it's going to be a little harder to siege up.
Empire, this is looking like we're going to 8 dragons. It's going to come down to
I
an
think it's possible.
elder burger flip before
Watch
any of
Kongye.
these teams do commit. Lil V, even though he is full build and with the GA, he does get shredded very, very quickly.
It's a long fight. The barrel chain coming through doesn't go where they wanted it.
Remember,
They
it's a
find Rock though.
Yubi!
Miganar, it's not there. The chase on. Rock,
It's
he's
a
not got any bar, and he's
Yubi!
going absolutely nowhere into the resurrection, but that's only going to buy him a few seconds of time. The final chapter not even needed, and J-Team get chased out. Now
They're
the
getting
siege
zoned off with
goes.
their
Brody
base.
trying to stop the backs. They've got the
Stop
push.
the
They've got
boards.
the siege. Nightstar, PSG are going for gold here as they take down
Stop
the
the
inhibitor.
boards.
They force them the long way. Bury just keeps them locked up, and they're on the Nexus turrets. They're on the Nexus. J-Team can't stop it. PSG going to match point.
PSG! Daylight robbery! Straight through the front door! And they take game number 2 as J-Team are at a complete loss of words.
Absolutely stunned. They played that game in full control. They didn't even lose the fights. They got the soul, and yet they still lost the game.
And once more, J-Team, it's just a difference of planning. It felt like every single time they knew what step 1 was, but they didn't have the rest of the steps lined up, right? In game number 1, it was, hey, we want this dragon. But what do we do if PSG come across and contest it? Well, I don't know. We'll just give it to them, I guess. And that was the case here. They continue to give up objectives over to the side of PSG, even though they had gold leads, right? They had such a massive gold lead at 12 minutes. And then you go 20 minutes, 25 minutes, 30 minutes. That gold lead pretty much stayed the same.